Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together!
Yeah.
I almost forgot what I was doing for half a second and just started reading the dialogue. I was just like, I will begin with, Asra is only on the other side of the wall, but when we part ways, a wave of uncertainty sweeps over me.
Wait, because you guys have slept together for years. We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm. I realize it's coming from Portia. It's not my wave of uncertainty.
What?
She chews her lower lip as she helps me into my beautiful,
that
complicated
doesn't
clothes.
Fucking follow at all.
I
what?
don't know that I've ever had anyone else's emotions just sweep over me.
Because that, or either that or what we're doing is we're introducing something incredibly later where it's just like, and now you can just feel emotions when they're that fucking strong. And I'm like, but that's ridiculous. We've felt plenty of strong emotions before and it's never come up.
Question.
Why now?
Question. Why are we getting into complicated, beautiful clothes right now?
I don't know.
Okay, because she's like, I got outfits for you.
Oh, was that the warning that this is going to be the masquerade?
We were
like tonight.
I'm pretty sure we were not told the masquerade was today.
No, we were not told anything. We actually just took a bath, and I thought we were going to go to bed.
I was expecting.
And we didn't do that at all. We went up. We took a bath. We went back.
This route is so not full of sleep. Like Julian's is not full of bathing, and this one is not full of sleep. God, we are exhausted. Asra making poor choices. Well, he's only slept like 5 hours in the last 3 days. You know what? I would too.
Yeah, fair.
She chews her lower lip as she helps me into my beautiful, complicated clothes. Assumably out of my robe first, I guess.
Also, that's an opinion.
Also, am I fine with having her dress me? Am I... Bless you. Goodness, bless you.
I think the thing is if it's supposed to be Nadia clothing, yeah, it has to be, beautiful, complicated clothes.
1, I haven't looked at it at all. 2, I haven't decided to wear it yet. 3, I'm already being helped into it.
Which also seems very funny because, okay, so again, I'm going to bring up the fact that, at least for me, I think it's hilarious that she thinks Lucio has no sense of style because it's overly complicated, has too many things going on. I'm like, every time you describe
her giving gifts,
it's always super overcomplicated unless apparently it was for Corazon, and then she just gave them
one piece of cloth.
A piece of cloth.
A single strip of fabric.
Like, I don't understand why they couldn't
For the ballroom and the ball, you need to wear one strip of fabric.
Get yourself some gauze.
So my friend here actually did some experimental drawings in the Nadia route of going, what could you do with one strip of fabric without cutting it to make a ball outfit? And the thoughts were very entertaining.
They were very funny because unlike most other outfits where they're like, you wrap it around your body so you look very, Roman. Because so the thing is you have to understand is that years ago everybody largely just wore a sheet.
Because they didn't cut the cloth because your cloth was so freaking hard to make. You make a giant rectangle or square, and then you wrap it and fold it different ways.
Yep, and that was the way it tended to come off the loom.
And if I remember correctly, like a chiton is just 2 rectangles sewn together across the top only, and then your head goes through a space between the 2 lines of stitches, simple stitches, so you can cut it apart anytime, and you just put a belt around the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm also very interested that we didn't comment on seeing the clothes at all. Like, everything ever has been like, there is this thing in the room. There is this glorious outfit in the room.
I really do have to say, as a story, I kind of resent, honestly, the fact that it's like, this is a story that you can read. And I'm like, but it's not. You leave so many details, quote, to your imagination, which actually isn't a thing, really, that they describe in any great amount of detail, as far as I can tell, in the descriptor for this game.
They don't tell you they're going to be doing that.
They don't tell you that we tried to keep it light and loose so that you can insert yourselves, like, decide what clothing you're wearing or who you are or what you look like, blah, blah, blah. It's just
I do find it odd here going I get that we're distracted being parted from Asra, but already being actively dressed in an outfit without ever looking at it or commenting on it based on the other observations we've made sounds strange.
Yeah, it does sound really weird. And again, why is Portia helping?
She bites back her questions, which I apparently know she has.
But how is that a wave of uncertainty? That just sounds like, I'm vibrating with need to query. Fuck!
Maybe she's uncertain about asking the questions.
Maybe.
She has an uncertainty and she would have questions that would answer it, but she won't ask them. I don't know. All I felt was a wave of uncertainty and then a great knowledge that she has questions that she's not asking.
And then also then it was like your uncertainty actually about Asra, but it wasn't about Asra, it was Portia, which... What? Why? Okay, anyway.
She's uncertain about Asra. I feel it's from her.
About Asra.
I guess.
Why are you uncertain about Asra?
But curiosity burns bright in her eyes. That's totally what the curious face looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Deeply concerned and wide-eyed. That is definitely curious. All detectives look that way.
That's sort of like puppy, like...
Maybe.
Tell me things.
Could be. The tension brings sweat to the back of my neck. Apparently, not only do I perceive these things, but these things cause me to have tension.
Yes.
And so much tension, it changes my body temperature.
Okay.
That's intense.
Why? Oh, how is the blessing? All blessed up in there?
Aww.
The what?
Apparently what she got told was to set the room up for a blessing, because she went, I prepared the room with all the things you mysteriously requested, and I'm guessing the only thing we can come up from here was either she assumes and extrapolates blessing, or Nadia told her blessing, and so that's all she's got.
Right, and she's trying to find out exactly how it went
and she's
what
going,
it was,
is that the thing? Did it do what it was supposed to do?
I never heard of soothing a ghost by bringing in all their favourite things.
Those wouldn't be mysterious items then. I assume you've talked to Nadia then, because you know your cryptic or mysterious items, like she said. I gathered all of the, she did kind of make items for, mystical collection of items, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, there was some indication of, I don't know why you wanted all these specific things.
I mean, I guess it could still work, because Asra wouldn't necessarily want to explain that all of it is his favorite things, but that feels like that would be quite a list.
But that's what I mean, though. She
For
now
the 5
knows,
seconds of him somehow talking to her.
leaning in and whispering to Nadia, who then somehow communicated to Portia without getting to her at all.
Yeah.
Without being by her at all. It's fine.
It's fine.
Anyway, but that bit of going, now she knows this, I don't know when that conversation happened. Not that we have to know because we weren't there for it, but that's interesting that Nadia wouldn't tell her before but did tell her after.
Yeah.
I assume.
Favorite things.
Even if I wanted to, I know better than to speak openly with her. It's frustrating, knowing and not being able to speak.
I mean, do we
But
know
she
that
also-
we can't speak openly? So
we
this
just
is...
decided we can't trust anyone. Trust no
No
one.
one.
All of us stood in there and went, we know we can't trust anyone. And then she walked in and everyone went dead quiet. So that tells us she is one of the people we can't trust.
Yeah. I think, honestly, though, that would be really interesting. Like, in the way of going, if you're actually going to choose, you would get to choose whether or not to tell her.
For me, I am not a person who usually picks up on those kind of signals unless they're written down in a story.
Mm-hmm.
So in real life, I have been the person that said the thing to the wrong person after everybody else apparently clearly established that you don't talk to that person. And I didn't know because it wasn't said directly.
I hate that fucking nonsense, though, because a lot of it isn't like we're going to directly tell you don't talk to that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird sort of...
Like I said, you all clam up when she enters the room, and so that's supposed to tell you that specifically you don't talk to her.
Yeah.
Which, for me, I'm like, sometimes you all get quiet when someone enters the room because you're all going, hey, who has entered the room?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a key to something. Anyway, she also didn't ask a question,
No.
as far as I know.
No,
she
she
did ask,
how did the thing
how
go?
did the soothing,
And then she goes, and then she
blessing
kind of
go?
adds more on going, I've never heard of soothing a ghost by doing this
Right,
thing.
but she went, how did the blessing go?
Which
I
is
guess.
actually interesting, because now we have some sort of either, like, cultural background for her.
Or an
So
idea of what she's been told.
Yeah, or an idea of, like, because it clearly is some belief about ghosts and how you calm them, right? That's the thing she has, at least. Mm-hmm. Or that is, the one that she's actually trying to suss out if that's the truth or not, because it could also be a bullshit belief.
It could also be the something of going, this is what I was told and I don't believe it, so I'm going to try and confirm or deny with you. But also, I get this experience of her going, how was the blessing? Telling her, it's fine, it's done, worked well, was okay, we completed what we were there for. Doesn't seem like it'd be telling her anything that would be, like, inappropriate or unacceptable. If she knows, if she has information, if we were theoretically performing a blessing, you could say, it went fine, and that wouldn't be giving anything away.
Uh-huh.
At
Unless
all.
it's the fact that you actually don't know what Asra basically told, or Nadia told Portia that they needed / what it was for.
And so she
Which
could
then be, she could be just lying in that way.
And trying to
but
test
I'm like,
you.
why? This seems so silly. You would just be like, okay, so I've told everyone that this is the thing that's going on. What we're actually going to be doing is this.
All right.
I
can only make a non-committal gesture while she lingers on the fastenings of my extremely complicated garments. Am I used to being dressed? Do I know how to be dressed by someone? Also, if I don't trust her, why am I letting her dress me? No, you don't trust her to talk to you.
I'm also like, why are
Did she
you
also
helping us when Nadia
communicate
needs to get help
to
for
me
putting clothes on?
At some point, that you were going to be helping me dress, so that I knew this was going to be happening.
No, as far as I know, no.
Also, who's helping Asra dress?
Well,
Who's helping Nadia dress? Everyone else needs to get dressed. I'm getting dressed first. It's fine.
And then she's going to walk around in a circle because nobody else knows how to do it. Okay, I won't ask. You magicians are so mysterious. Wow, the tailors outdid themselves on this one. You look ravishing.
That's adorable, but like, how would the tailors have our measurements?
I don't know.
I'm hiring you. Come to the castle, work for me. On your first moment of arrival, we're going to measure you, but I won't tell you why, and forget about it, please. I see. Why would you do that? Hi, Kohai. You need my measurements so that I can work as a magician for you.
Uh-huh.
I do not know about this job, so okay.
Sure, okay,
That makes sense.
Yep, goes willingly, arms just spread out. Yep, I got it.
Yep, doesn't think about it ever again, going, clearly this is a job thing.
Bad socialization.
No idea.
Happens.
Yep. Ravishing.
Ravishing.
I feel ravishing? I feel ravishing because the text says I do. The elegant embroidery lining my collar and sleeves is reminiscent of my own clothing. You guys are vague to a fault about absolutely everything, and now you tell me that I wear embroidered things at all times.
That would have been...
I would have loved to know that when I was trying to get fan art of myself. I mean, when we were informing Draconisha how to draw the character, this would have been helpful.
This actually would have been super helpful, though I'm honestly really excited for the outfit Draconisha has drawn for us.
Whatever it is, I'm very thrilled.
Yes.
I don't know. I assume it will be in a premium scene somewhere, and we definitely haven't seen it, but it'll be great.
Yes, I've been vibrating about it for a while, going,
oh no,
it's there. I want to look at it.
Elegant embroidery, line in the collar. I frequently have elegant embroidery on all of my clothing.
Apparently.
But the colors are so deep, the fabric so smooth and fine, they may as well be from another world. Normally I also dress in extremely pale or washed out colors and in rough peasant fabrics, I assume.
Which would be interesting, except that, like I've said before, I have a hard time believing that, because everybody, one, is so super colorful and everybody has a lot of detail, that this seems to be silly. Like, I don't know how to explain that the visuals do not agree or line up. There's a level of dissonance between character design.
That the MC does not dress like anybody else you see.
We dress like crap.
With a lot of beautiful, elegant embroidery.
Yep, with a lot of fantastic embroidery, because that's all we can do, because that's where the spells
So what
go.
you have is you've got basically your tan, sort of rough peasant tunic that's made by, your hand spun and woven stuff, so it's uneven.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not dyed much. If it is, it's a very, pale, not exciting color. It's maybe like pale saffron, like yellow with your saffron, or,
mm-hmm.
it's like a tan or a brown.
Mm-hmm.
And then your embroidery is not very bright either, but it's very intricate and elegant.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put this on and you're like, pow! But normally everyone's like, we know that's the apprentice because they are the only colorless thing in the entire crowd.
Cause I really gotta tell you, like,
Where did you buy those clothes, Ethan?
Like, I find it to be really funny. So this was kind of an issue we had with, there was a game we played on the Switch. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it right now. But the girl, they specifically describe her clothing as very elaborate and amazing and very weird looking and everything else. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. He's specifically got stuff that actually is reminiscent of it. That dude has stuff that's also reminiscent of it. You guys have a unified style so that it all looks like it came from the same game in order to appeal to the crowds. What are you fucking talking about?
Okay,
She completely belongs in the game.
Okay, so last year we appeared as a side thing in NDK, which is
Non-Desucon
for those an anime convention
in Denver, Colorado. Though we did do it.
We did it remotely.
And they were in Westminster, I think.
Yeah.
At the time.
At any rate, we played a visual novel, or at least a piece of it, because you know how long we take to do these things. And it really was like they describe the main character's outfit, and you do see her in this case. She's named. She's a character on the screen.
Yeah.
I gotta say, but they describe her outfit in great detail as being this completely unique, one of a kind thing, and that it's stunning and different and unusual. But again, it matches the art style and the steampunk aesthetic of all the other characters that we met in that time. So it's like it doesn't look that weird. They also say dress like, and it's just a dress.
Yeah.
The dress like, it's a dress.
It's a dress.
It has pants under it, but it's a dress.
It's totally a dress.
Maybe it's a pantsuit with a skirt, and that's why it's dressed like. Ooh, I don't know. Anyway, colors are so deep. Another world. Like maybe it matches the bedroom, which has pretty deep colors. The
clothing.
fabric,
The fabric.
clothing, embroidery, or colors.
With embroidery, blah, 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 blah.
And the colors move and ripple.
You.
The whole thing. I better not watch this. I might fall down. I will get sort of
Either that or
dizzy,
I'll knock into things because they're going, wow!
staring at the transfixed on your clothing, bonk, like walking with a cell phone or something.
Going like this, holding it out to look at your, wow. Look at your sleeves.
Everything that I just described, sway like water with my movements. Can you imagine that you're standing still and your dress is all one color, or like everything's in place, and then you move and the embroidery walks and shifts across the fabric and the colors flow into different places, and then you hold still again and it all freezes?
That would be fun.
That would be I would be all about
that. But also,
that
like, again, I'm like, I want cool stuff like this because this is supposed to be a magical world. So my brain is so confused where you introduce so strongly this idea of magic and how much it's changed things potentially, and then you really don't do anything with it.
And then you use it to light candles or blow them out.
or blow yourself off. Clean yourself.
Dry yourself.
Once, and then completely forget how to clean yourself once you get out of the bath again. It's fine.
When Portia opens the door, she bows at the waist for me to pass. Because I am immediately leaving my room again, it seems. Are there shoes with this garment? Am I barefoot? Do I still have bath slippers? I need to know. It's fine.
I am actually... Milady is in the ballroom with some very important guests. Do you dance?
Maybe I'll have to ask Asra.
Asra, did you teach me how to dance? Exactly. Dance.
Hang on, let me plunge the small memories that I have. Dance? I'm not a terrible dancer. I do remember, I do dance some. I do it often enough with Asra. He says I was natural in the past, but who knows?
Oh.
Maybe I was bad and forgot all about it. I'm conscious of my stride. My posture as we make our way down the hall.
Because suddenly I am insecure because you brought up dancing.
Or suddenly I feel like I need to look like a dancer, or like I could, maybe. I also don't answer your question. And when I say maybe I was bad and forgot all about it, what I'm saying is perhaps he was lying to me that I used to be good at it? Because that seems odd.
Oh my god, but you're right though. The character literally doesn't interact with Portia.
There's
just I suddenly have all these thoughts and internal dialogue.
Her,
basically.
do you know how to dance? Us
character
dance?
Blue screens out as they think. Portia, hello?
Hello? We might have said dance ? Out loud, but that's it. And then we've said nothing since then. When I enter the ballroom, I spy NADIA surrounded by 3 magnificent strangers. I'm gonna guess she's related to them. Just gonna guess. One notices me before they have even turned around to see me arrive. Their amber gaze is piercing as an eagle.
I know what eagles look like?
1,
I've had exposure to eagles.
I know eagles and their eye colors. 2, they aren't looking at me when they notice me, but I can see their eyes.
Yes.
When you say before they have even turned around, do you mean before the others have even turned around?
No. One notices me before they, so we're talking about the singular one of them.
Yeah,
of
this
the
person
3, hasn't even turned around.
How can I tell that they notice me when they're looking the other way?
And also, what color are their eyes? Because they're literally not looking at you.
And I guess maybe they look over their shoulder, but I don't describe that for a reason.
Or also again, how do you perceive that someone has, quote, noticed you without them looking at, like, I don't understand sometimes where people try to do that, where you're like, I walked into a room and it was like people were expecting me,
and they immediately noticed me, and you're like, how do you know?
How do you know
when they're not looking at you?
Sometimes people just turn around at that moment, honey.
Other times they're not moving and they aren't looking at you or interacting with you, and they don't immediately change their behavior. Everyone's watching me, everyone's thinking about me, everyone knows I'm here. I think you're exaggerating.
Just a little
bit. But it's okay. That is an interesting description.
Is this Asra?
This is Kohai. Though I think it's very entertaining that you've asked. Also, I would like to ask, now that I've been told what I'm wearing and what my usual tastes in clothing are, and that I look ravishing in this, did you do anything with my hair?
No.
Because it was tied up out of the way to dry, but it's definitely very damp.
No, we have not done anything with the hair.
Or it might have had a towel on it to dry, so I'm still wearing the towel, maybe? At any rate, I probably either have a towel on my head, Or I have long, damp tendrils hanging behind my very fancy outfit that maybe should not get wet that way.
Like, this is very silly. I'm like, there was actually, surprisingly...
Kohai has long, relatively thick, straight hair. So it's going to hold a good amount of water and just plop onto the back. Now, I know we spent some time up in Lucio's room, and I know it was warm and then cold and stuff.
We got blown
but,
around.
like, if it was tied up in any way to keep it out of the way, just like maybe stop it from dripping right after we walked out of the bath,
right,
it would still be in that sort of awkward, just loosely pinned up, very wet kind of way. Or again, have a towel wrapped around it, and then going, the fact that we did nothing with your hair but put you in fancy clothes makes me kind of giggle. Because depending on how your character has or does with their hair, and the fact that they just came from the bath without doing anything particular, because, you know, your clothes aren't ready yet, so you don't get to get ready in any way, and then we go and do a thing. I'm interested that we show up basically with bath hair for this.
This is really... I'm like... This is actually, I think, like, the first time that they mention you really don't do anything with your hair. Because, like... Usually they do something with your hair. And this is the first one, and they're like, oh shit, well, you don't need to do anything with your hair.
I guess it's fine.
You're bald.
I mean, maybe.
You put a wig on.
Nope, they would have had to say that, because they talked about it when Julian did
That's
it.
not true. Because I imagine of all the things that they wouldn't say. Anyway, this is Kohai.
This damp-haired creature, which looks ravishing in their moistness, is Kohai. Or just, she turns to look at you, pauses for half a second, sees your mop of hair. This is Kohai. Contains herself like a pro.
The apprentice, their energy is so developed.
What? Sorry. Well,
and moist! I actually wasn't expecting that. I'm sorry. I changed the page, and then I didn't look at it. I was just looking at my friend miming all these actions, and then I look back, and it's their energy is so
develops. I see.
Kohai tugs clothing closer. What are you looking at? What are you taking?
Kohai, hold still as not to be distracted by their ever-moving clothing.
Kohai, what?
By the migrating embroidery and colours and such. Holds very still. It is?
Oh!
Is
it
that
was also damp.
Is that a term that I know? Now seeing NADIA'S face assessing your hair kind of casually tries to, can I just loop it up? Maybe tie it on itself a little bit.
Do you know what I think is really funny?
Huh.
Okay, so with Asra's route, compared to like NADIA'S and compared to Julian's,
yes.
I don't remember this much fucking like energy conversation at all.
I think in the way that many things are there and then aren't there, such as we haven't talked about a smell for a long time.
Yeah.
It seems like lots of points are frequently dropped throughout the various stories of this was important when we were interested in it or thinking about it in this area.
Yeah.
And it's still theoretically important later, but it's not being written about or discussed because we're focusing on something else.
Yeah, which is actually really frustrating.
I was going to say, which after a fashion you can do, but you still have to have sort of nods to it in a way. Like you still need to imply that it still exists, even if you're not, digging into it, if that makes sense. All right, developed.
Honestly, I think that's why, like, the thing with the sense is so frustrating, because they made such a big deal out of it, and now it hasn't been brought up at all.
Mm-hmm. Their energy is so developed.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I know none of
energy is so developed.
I say, none of you can see that, but if you've ever heard this phrase, huge tracts of land!
Yeah.
This is like basically metaphor towards Kohai and their large endowments. Their energy
is so developed.
You just pause. I'm staring at titties and I'm thrown off by them and I have to pause. And so beautiful. What a resplendent aura.
Big titty club.
We have heard a great many good things about you, Kohai. I am Nazmira, 5th princess of Prakar.
Please tell me everybody else introduces themselves, because so far, that's one, and that's amazing that they did it right off the bat.
She's like, I understand everyone else has not mentioned their, anything. Allow me to begin. Let me start it.
This is also really rude. Nadia should technically be introducing us, but it's okay.
She should.
She actually should.
you came in with a servant. She should be introducing all of us.
Depending
on protocol.
Yeah, I was about actually to say that. Did Portia go in with us?
She did.
Yeah, but it hasn't mentioned Portia.
Oh, shit. She had to leave us there because we didn't know we were going.
It didn't say, though, that she did. We just walked off.
She asked if we knew how to dance, and then we arrived here. It didn't say whether she came with or not at all,
Nope,
actually.
not even slightly.
It didn't say she didn't come with or did, so I don't know if she's here. Have to say. This is Nahara, the 4th princess, and Navra, the 3rd. And I haven't told you NADIA'S position yet. I assume you know. I can't accents right now, forgive me.
It's okay.
Princesses. There is undoubtedly some way I am supposed to act, and I don't know the protocol. This is the first time protocol has ever been mentioned, and I'm so glad it's mentioned, but I hate that it hasn't been mentioned before.
Well, it's also frustrating. Okay,
because this
just
assumes
because it's like
that Kohai does have protocol and knows how to interact with the countess that has been here the whole time.
Yep.
And is only now concerned that they don't know additional protocol for different ranks and other royalty. Which I find interesting.
Yes. But usually, like, okay, so the thing that I think is funny is typically with amnesia plots, like, part of the fun is reintroducing the world to everyone. And that's, again, the thing that I complain about the most with the story is going, like, you had every fucking opportunity to basically fill out this world and redo all the stupid tropes and, oh my god, look at the castle, and that's a castle, and here's the people, and these are their ranks, and this is what's going on, and blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about magic. Like, you have the perfect way to, and especially that you have a mentor character that is there who doesn't want to be your teacher.
You have the perfect way to make your audience, your players, the laymen, and get everything explained to them without it seeming incorrect.
Yes!
Without it seeming like superfluous info dumping, because your apprentice doesn't know. But in the way they've written this, while your apprentice doesn't have a lot of information and has very limited memory and development and growing up again of their life, as I say, there's this idea that they just know most things and occasionally don't know something for an experience, I guess. My body language and half-formed words communicate that well enough. I want to say
also, again, with the asserting of I know exactly how everybody's going to react to me.
Yes.
And everything I do.
And everyone,
I don't know these people.
Everyone, all 4 of them, understand that I don't know what I'm doing based on what I'm doing, and I can tell.
Yep, got it. Protocol is a dance for those who know the steps. Think not of it.
So you have identified specifically that I am thinking of protocol, and that I don't know it, and you're soothing me. Holy shit, you're perceptive.
But you know, my energy is developed.
Could you see all of that in my well-developed energy?
Oh, hi, weirdly flirt. Hello.
Hi. Indeed. Please do not make yourself behave strangely on our behalf. Will your teacher be joining us? Ah, would that be him now? Would who? I whirl around, the last to spot the figure that just emerged at the top of the grand staircase.
Of who? The tiny group that you're with? Because Nadia's disappeared.
The 4 other...
Nadia has fucked off. She doesn't have conversations.
She has no opinions on this. She's not interested in introducing anyone. She will not tell you anything. She also doesn't respond, even though you're her guest and employee, about you not knowing what to do.
Do you know also what's weird about this?
Huh?
I'm surprised that she's not in her usual masquerade outfit, or does she show up later in it?
Or again, this might not be the day of the masquerade. This might just randomly be, I gave you nicer clothes because now you're staying with me, and there's no indication.
Well, yeah, because we don't even know what the fuck this is. Like, I genuinely am baffled.
And in a previous route, these guys showed up a day before the masquerade, so this could be you're wearing fancy clothes because unexplained she wanted you to wear them.
Yep.
Which we're all fine with.
For reasons.
When you go to NADIA'S house, she redresses you, and everyone's fine with that.
All right, well, figure that just emerged.
I whirl around, because all 4 of them saw the figure first.
Yep.
On the grand staircase. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, you are wearing very different clothes.
That's really cute.
Oh, that looks great.
It doesn't look like embroidery, so I assume that one's a different thing than ours, but that's really cute. He just looks kind of smug.
Yeah,
but also, like, I had to come in from the doorway over there. What route did you take to come down the stairs on the other side of the ballroom?
Also,
you are deliberately being dramatic, aren't you?
Yes.
Is his theatrical?
That I was about to say, that is very theatrical.
It's very cute. He's so theatrical.
Why are they all theatrical, actually? Because Julian is very theatrical. They specifically
Minions
made fun of him
not
for that.
particularly theatrical.
But I'm like,
But Julian
Lucio
really is. And
so,
Lucio
so
is.
the biggest characters that we've met that have pulled anything like, look at my costume, Lucio,
theatrical.
Julian,
And
now Asra.
And they have different flavors of theatricism. But yeah, this is very performative of I'm going to show up at the top of the staircase, display myself for everyone, and then dramatically walk down it, which isn't required at all because, again, we were in rooms right next to each other. He could have come through the same door as us.
You know what? For somebody who is supposed to be, like, deeply insecure and thinks he's a terrible person, he sure as fuck likes to show himself off a lot.
He is trying to compensate very hard.
He is certainly being the cock of the walk.
It's okay. He's peacocking, but someone else put him in those feathers.
Yup. Except that he put himself up there, so he's the one for the framing.
Yes. He's like, oh no, I look great. But also, again, that can be a thing for compensating for self-worth.
Oh, yeah.
I've known people like that.
And I know that too.
Asra is descending the stairs, radiant in his dazzling costume. The sight of him takes my breath away.
It is kind of a fun costume. I like the nice gradient.
I also enjoy the whole like layered sash belt thing.
I would also like to know how, like, again, I have this problem because the fashions in a lot of ways are so similar.
Yeah.
I really would like to know how they're different.
That one. Again, distinctive clothing. You all dress the same.
Like, except for, like, Portia and Julian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so far, like, those two, and then, like, Muriel's pretty obvious. But, like, basically the other ones, and Asra only really when he's in his other outfit, so kind of, but it's just, like...
They have a really similar color palette, amazingly. He strides shyly past the princesses. I assume he comes down the stairs first.
Oh.
But when he catches sight of me, his face splits into a brilliant smile.
So that must mean that we both, though, have different outfits. So it's not
all
like...
of us could see him at the top of the stairs, and he could see the whole ballroom, but he couldn't see me.
We are tiny.
They really do think in this game your apprentice is very short.
And also that, like...
I need you to know
you're in a very specific position, so you're always blocked off.
I'm not short. And thereby... If I was one wearing any kind of shoes, or two not directly hidden behind the tallest person, you would see me?
I also think it's really interesting anyway, because, like, okay, I've been that person where you're like, I come around, you're like, where's the person? And you see them, and you go, oh, is that them? Is that them? And you're like, oh my god, I see this outfit! And, like, you'd be really excited, and then you see the other people, and you kind of, like, calm down again, and you're sort of like, excuse me, hello, princesses, yes, hello. Oh my god, you look great! You know, like,
it's really funny,
you're already freaking out.
I'm going to show up theatrically and unnecessarily, so deliberately, at the top of the stairs. Descend all the way down in my ravishing clothes, using quotes here, and then be very nervous as the princesses who have watched me walk all the way down these stairs. Only when I'm scooting past them. In a giant ballroom, I have to scoot past them. I couldn't just walk somewhere else or walk towards Nadia or anything. I scoots past them as if in a hallway, even though there's
it's just a stride shyly. Striding is still...
I know.
So he's striding, which is a very confident walk in my experience.
Yeah, it is. It's a...
Strides are large. Strides is big. And then shyly. Striding shyly.
Okay, that's a good point, honestly.
Like, that's kind of hurting me, actually.
How do you... Okay, so yeah, striding is generally a confident, purposeful, intentional walk.
Yes.
Like, and so, how do you do that shy?
I would like to actually see physical actors do that.
Me too.
Stride shyly.
Just put that as your instruction. That'd be great.
Stride shyly across the room.
And then he goes past all of them after they've watched him for like a whole, 30 seconds come down the staircase and walk and stride across the floor.
If not a minute or something.
Depending on how big it is and how far away it is, because it looks like it's way the fuck over there.
Yep.
Because again, the other
But
doors.
also considering how many people they've always had in this place is fucking enormous.
And then he finally sees me and smiles. Yes.
Brilliantly smiles.
Brilliant. Well, he does have pretty teeth. He's very charming. He's got a very nice face. What? Sorry?
Yeah, it's okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we're going to have to look at this brilliant smile.
And watch him stride shyly
in the next one! Hey! So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. Thanks very much to those of you who have actually done so far. It's been super great to get the new people around that we have. We've had some great comments. We also love, people going, oh my god, this is really funny. Yes. I'm glad you're enjoying even our old stuff.
Yes!
So, also, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi, Patreon, and our Twitch. There are links in the description. We would also love to see you there. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!